Hello class, I hope you're all doing well. In this video, I'm going to show you a little bit of tips of how to manage your time effectively. All right, so one of the first things that I do to manage my time while I'm in school is I actually use Google Calendar. This is something that I've been starting to do since last semester, last spring and fall, and I've actually found it very helpful for me because you could access Google Calendar from your phone or from your computer. So there is a Google Calendar app that you could also download as well, but I'm going to show you how to access it from the computer. So once you're on your Google homepage, you're going to click these little dots right here, little boxes. It's the Google Apps. And you're just going to want to go ahead and scroll down to Google Calendar. Now, once your calendar is popped up, it usually probably will show your week or month view, but you will have like a standard calendar that you cannot like ever really delete, which I accidentally labeled fall 2020. So I don't even use that one right now, but you can create a new calendar. And that's something I do usually each semester. And then so I could delete it once the semester is over. But so you can go down here to other calendars and select add other calendars. And from there, you'll just create a new calendar and it will pop up right here. So if you click that, you can just click create new calendar. You want to title it and so on. But I'm actually just not going to create a calendar. So let me go down and click. Let me just go back. Okay, because I didn't really want to create a new calendar, but for you, I think it'd be helpful if you create a whole new calendar. So mine is actually already created, and I wanted to use mine as an example because I have a lot going on in here. But so I labeled it fall 2021. And what I really do for this calendar is I insert all of my classes in here and the times, the days, and then I also insert my work hours as well. When I'm going to take a lunch break. I even put in here when I'm going to wake up and get ready and also drive to school because I live an hour away from Crafton. So I also have to count that in there for there as well. And same with like when I go to Cal State, I only live 30 minutes away, but parking is insane. So I have to count that in there as well. So those are just some of the things that I put in there. I also sometimes put in when I'm doing homework. I'm going to be going to the writing center the 31st. So I put that in there. So I have all my classes in here. This is a doctor's appointment that I have on Friday. So I just put those things in there. I also put in there like I'm consistently going to the gym Wednesday through Friday from these times. So you could put that in there. And this just really helps you stay organized. To actually create a new event, I'll show you. So you want to just click on the little time block and you're going to hold down your left mouse and just drag down from the time you want. So say Monday from 6 to 7:45, I want to create an event. You're going to add a title. So say I'm going to be doing homework. You can select, you could edit the times right here. You could also select if it's going to repeat. So say for your classes, if you want to insert your classes, I would definitely say to repeat this so that it's just automatically in there. So you could repeat it daily, weekly on Monday, on the last Monday, or you could do custom. And I would always click custom because it's just the easiest. So say you have a class and you're inserting it. You could put, say, Monday, Wednesday from this time to this time, and you could also put when it ends. So our semester, I believe, ends in December. So I'm going to say December 17th. This is when it ends. So then you could put done for that. And then what you could also do is you could add a location. You could add guests to it if other people are going to be there. And then you could also, if you click on this calendar right here, you could also change the color of what it's going to look like. So I color code everything. As you could see, when I'm at work for Anderson, it's green. When I'm taking a lunch break, it's usually yellow. Appointments for myself are usually red. I have some of my classes in dark purple, and then when I'm working at the tutoring center, it's usually light purple. So I have it very color coordinated. There's only so many colors, so try to, plan ahead and use the best of the ability to your colors. There's not too many, but for homework, I do know that I do dark blue. So I'm going to put that in there, and then you could default the visibility. So if you want it public, you could have it public if you want people knowing what you're doing, or you could have it private as well. I honestly don't care. I'm always in school or work, so it doesn't matter to me. So then you want to just make sure you push save. And so that will be in there. And notice how I put it as reoccurring Monday, Wednesday, so it's in there. And if I even go to my next week, it should be in there as well. So that's just a little bit of how to actually create an event. So again, I did that for like just about everything I'm doing. And then I also like to have some modifications in here as well. So sometimes when I know I know for sure Saturday, I'm going to be doing homework all day. I have no life. I'm not going to be doing anything fun, but I don't know exactly like what times, what assignments and everything. I don't have that all mapped out yet. So this is blank for now, but I do know that I'm going to be doing homework. So sometimes something that I do, I like to have it on my Google Calendar. I have the app as well. But what I also like to do is print it out. And when I print it out, I could also like just write in it and have modifications to it. So to print this out, you're going to want to make sure, first of all, it's in the week view, because you could have the month view as well. So here's what, say, my month looks like down here. So I'm going to have it in the week view. So I could print out my week to do schedule basically. So to print it out, I just push Control Print. And as you can see, it has everything mapped out in here. You could do the font size normal, you could make it bigger. The orientation, you do want to have it landscape so that you get the whole week in there, Sunday through Saturday. You could also do the color as in full color, or black and white, or just an outline. So that just depends on your printing preference. And then you can go ahead and print it. One thing to note though, as I don't know if you could see, but my very last timeline is at 10 o'clock. So it only prints up to what is scheduled. So say if you only have things scheduled in here till 6 or 7, the end of the map, when you print it out, it would only show till 7. So that's why I always make sure I put something in here around 10, 11, because I know I go to sleep at 11 and I'm probably going to be doing homework until then, but I want to have that printed out, that time frame printed out when I go to print it. So since I have something at 9:45 to 10:30, that's why it shows that in my actual map when I go to print it out. But if that wasn't there, then it would show when the last thing is. So if you want to have something from like 6 a.m. to midnight, make sure you have something actually scheduled down there. And if you have any questions about this, you could always ask me, email me. I have been using this for a while now, and I found it so helpful. So that's one of the first things that I do. I'm going to switch screens and show you the next thing that I go ahead and do to kind of time manage my school and work schedule. So another thing that I do that I actually just recently started doing is I just write down, usually in a piece of paper, but for the sake of this PowerPoint or video, I decided to write it in an actual document, but I write down my upcoming assignments for each class for the next 2 weeks so that I know what I'm supposed to be working on. I put it in order and according to each class as well. And this just really helps me keep track of things. So I go to like my syllabus or course calendar, and I really just write down all of the assignments for each class that are coming up for the next 2 weeks. Another thing that I do when I do this is I click on each assignment and I make sure that I'm going to print out each of the readings for each assignment. So I know as I'm creating this list, when I'm writing it down, I have the reading printing out for defining masculinity, which I spelled that wrong, which is okay because this is your own list and it doesn't really matter. Nobody's really going to see it. But yeah, so I have all the readings for each of these assignments printed out already and have it in my binder ready to go. I also label the readings for the class because now I have like this big stack of readings and it's like, okay, what am I reading this for? So on the front page of the reading, I write what class it is for, and then I also write the due date that it's due. So that's another thing that I do that I have found personally very helpful. Something else that you could do to keep track of your upcoming assignments is have a mini calendar, like a little student planner or something like that, and write your assignments in there as well. For me, I just like to have less things going on, and my classes are actually changing all the time. Your classes may be more consistent with the actual assignments and scheduling, but for me, I know things are changing, so I can't write out all of my assignments till the very end of the semester. So that's why I just kind of keep track of it 2 weeks at a time usually. And if a teacher does say, hey, this is actually due this day or something like that, I go ahead and make sure that I make the changes onto my actual assignment. All right. So I'm going to show you one last thing that I do to help manage my time and just make sure that I'm actually really doing everything that I need to do. I also write a daily to-do list or a weekly to-do list. And again, I usually write this in paper, on a piece of paper. Just for me, writing also helps, but for the sake of this video, I wrote it on a Word document. But besides like my actual, like, okay, I have work at this time, I have a class at this time, there's things that I also like need to do throughout the day. And like, say for today, I know that I need to go to the grocery store for my iguana. So I have that in there, but I didn't exactly write it in my Google Calendar, but I could write it into my Google Calendar after having this to-do list if I wanted to. So I also just make a to-do list like basically daily, and usually like it is on paper for me, and I'll leave some gaps between, like if I don't have everything to fill in yet, I'll leave some gaps to actually write it in later. But that also helps me just keep track of my time and like what I need to do besides like where I'm supposed to be at a certain time. So those are just some tips and tricks. That's what I do for me. Other people do other resources, and it's really just what works best for you. But I wanted to show you some of what I do. If you have any questions about Google Calendar or anything like that, you can always send me an email in Canvas through the inbox, and I'd be happy to help you. And again, you could always schedule a one-on-one appointment with me as well. All right, I hope that helps. For me, stability is like everything. Like I like a consistent schedule and things like that, but also have some room to modify things. So this is why I really try and just keep track of things with my Google Calendar, upcoming assignments, and to-do list. But yes, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, bye.